It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, what's happening, everybody? I hope you had a great weekend. Yes, it is showtime time for the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live on my YouTube channel Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles on the West Coast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to screen grab maybe 60 seconds or 30 seconds or 90 seconds of some of the show. Put it on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Share it in your story. Create a viral moment for me. I want to thank everybody, all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers, everybody. And thank you for all my new viewers, folks that are watching me now. I've gotten so much support since October when I first officially launched the Daily Show. So thank you so very much. And once again, and tell everybody you know, your friends, your family, kinfolk, cousins, first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, 10th cousins, people you work with, your fraternity and sorority brothers and sisters. Shout out to the Eastern Stars and the Mason brothers. Everybody, aliens, it's all good. That simply the best. It's the best in the business. The baddest show, the Geno Jones Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right. And if you like to be a sponsor, please support a Black entrepreneur in this era of racial reckoning. Yes. I'd love to, get the support from my white allies out there, all my white allies that are looking for a black business, media, fledgling, a new media company that has arisen. I'd love to have you as a sponsor, as an advertiser. If you're looking for the ultimate pitch man to pitch or to be a brand ambassador, like Beyonce and Jay-Z are brand ambassador for Tiffany. So if you're looking for the ultimate brand ambassador to help build your brand, your business, helping you move your products, goods, services, let me just put it like this. I'm the king, not the king. No, not the king. The king! I'm the king! Pitch man. So just leave me a message right here, all right? Or as a matter of fact, I'll give you the Geno Jones Show. How about that? I was going to do it at the end of the show. It's real simple and quick. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Right there. It's just Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Shout out to Lizzo. She posted a video on Instagram. She was in tears. Now, Lizzo released on Friday a brand new song called Rumors. And she's basically talked about all the rumors that she heard, especially when we were in quarantine on lockdown the last year and a half, because for almost a year and a half, we were under lockdown. So everybody had a lot of time to think and reflect. And she had a lot of time to hear a lot of the rumors. She was sleeping with Drake. She was smashing Drake. And that, she hates herself. And, she got an issue because, she's a full-figured sister. She's a big girl. Or that she's part of the Illuminati. Just a whole bunch of crazy nonsense. The single, I love it. You got to listen. As soon as I get the video, I'm gonna air it on the show. You got to see it. Lizzo and Cardi B, featuring Cardi B. Cardi's got some bars on there. She is killing the game because she talks about, she knows y'all got a lot to say about Cardi too. Ratchet and this and hood and all the whole 9 yards. So Lizzo and Cardi addressed all the haters. And then the haters just got amped. It's like they just got on steroids and just all the racism and the body shame and she's received on social media. So she posted a video on Instagram. She was in tears talking about all the racism and the fat shaming and the fat phobia and just everything, calling her like mammy and just ignorant, racist nonsense. And it hurt. She was in tears, and she talked about how she tries to She tries to give the love so much love, give the world. She tries to give the world so much love and positivity. And she says she feels like the world doesn't love her back. Lizzo, my sister, the world loves you. I love you. The world loves you. I'm proud of you, my sister. My Nubian sister, you are doing the damn thing. And you know what? I can't think of too many more people that I've seen more comfortable just being in the skin that they're in. And this is not about your size, just who you are, embracing like every aspect, every dimension of who Lizzo is. Personality, the humor, the talent, the wit, embracing your full figure with no shame. This is me. This is who I am. I'm good with it. I heard her doing an interview. She's like, listen, I'm a vegan now, but people think I'm a vegan because I'm trying to lose weight. Look, I'm good with my size, but I feel healthier. The way she's eating, she said that, and I respect it. She's comfortable. So Lizzo, let me just say this in closing. The people that's hating on you, you know them haters need Jesus, therapy, and a life. So there's a line in the song where she talks about, y'all talked about I was ratchet when I was showing my ass. She said, wait until this quarantine is over, I can get out of my house. Y'all really gonna see something. The way you kind of mooned the camera that time when you went to a Lakers game, you know what? No, I was going to tell you, just give them something to kiss, but don't do that. Unless you want to do that, because that's what they would love for you to do. Like I said, I'm going to tell you what you should do, my sister. Just my recommendation. You are a super strong, talented sister, so you don't need my advice, but I'm just going to offer this suggestion and idea. You think about it. So allow yourself to process the emotion, and whatever you're feeling at that moment is valid. You feel hurt and sadness. You feel like you need to shed those tears. Please shed as many tears as you need to, because crying is healthy. What a lot of people don't know, our tears contain toxins, and when we don't shed those tears, those toxins remain in our body. So crying is a good thing, is a healthy thing. So when you get through with that, I want you to go to your computer, pull up your laptop or your desktop in your office, or grab your phone and tap on the app to your bank account and look at your bank account. And then laugh and smile, because you won, my sister. You have already, I think she's right around 30. I think she's 30, maybe early 30 somewhere. So you've already won. You have become a pop icon, a music crossing all genres, R&B and hip hop and pop. You have become a global music icon in an industry that never embraced women that looked like you. And I'm just being honest about it. I've worked in this entertainment game. They've never embraced, promoted. I've heard the conversations where women who were not a 14 or 16 or 18, who might have been an 8, was like, "Oh, she a little too big." So you made it in an industry that has never celebrated, women that look like you, especially women your size. So I have mad respect for that, because that took a lot of talent. You had to have a lot of talent, because the industry really, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. The industry was never looking for women that look like you to promote. And that's their business. And you understand that. But in spite of that, I've got so much respect for you, because your charisma, your light, your energy, your talent, just that, like, irrepressible spirit and energy that you have was so dynamic that they could not stop it. They couldn't contain it. They couldn't suppress it. They couldn't bottle it up. And with all the rejection you may have received, you still made it through, and the rest is history. So you won. Let the haters hate on. They doing what they're doing. Because if you weren't doing anything, they wouldn't talk about you. They don't talk about you when you're not doing anything. They're not concerned. They're not jealous and envious when you're not being successful. They ignore you. They don't even acknowledge you. You don't exist. But when you allow your light to shine fearlessly and you embrace fully your full self, no pun intended, full, complete self as a woman, as a black woman, you do the damn thing, Lizzo. Man, I'm proud of you. And I love the single. You and Cardi, y'all did the damn thing. All right, let me change gears here. I want to thank all the men and women in the military, especially the men and women in the military who served and who are still serving. I want to thank the men and women in the military that served, fought, and died in Afghanistan. Your service, your sacrifice was and is honorable. I have the utmost respect and gratitude for you, for the sacrifice. I never put on a uniform. I have the ultimate respect. I defer to you. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with 3 of my family members who all served in the military. One is my military expert here on the show, retired Master Sergeant Roy Gray, who's going to be my guest on Friday. I have the utmost respect. I defer to your wisdom, your opinion, your passion, especially those who served in Afghanistan. You have earned the right. Many of you have paid the price with your body, limbs, parts of your body. Many of you have paid the price, PTSD, mentally and emotionally, that you carry those mental and emotional scars. And some of your brothers and sisters paid the ultimate price with their lives. Some of your family members, and shout out in respect to the family members, especially of those men and women who served and are still serving right now, this second, over in Afghanistan. So your opinions, your attitudes, your passions, your perspective, I completely defer to. Even if I have a different perspective, I have the utmost respect for you, absolutely for yours. But I do want to, and before I do that, let me just say this. It saddens me to see the many Afghanis who are desperately trying to leave this country. My God, how afraid must you be to chase a giant aircraft, to run along the side of it, to jump on the wings of a giant C-17 military aircraft that's about to take off as it is taxiing down the runway, and you jump on top, you jump on the wings and try to hold onto the plane because you were desperately trying to escape your own country. I can't imagine that type of fear. But I do have to ask a question or pose a thought. How do you want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves? You can't. I can't want something for you more than you want it for yourself. Especially if it's something that belongs to you. I can't want something for you, and I can't want to protect something for you. My desire can't be greater than your desire to protect something that you own and that you love. It can't be. You can't want something for someone more than they want it for themselves. And that was a hard personal lesson that I had to learn 2.5 decades ago. So there's been a lot of talk. President Biden, today he held a news conference talking about the chaos you see in Kabul, Afghanistan. He said, I stand by his decision. He also said, the buck stops with me. Now, there's a lot of debate. There's a lot of armchair generals that the closest they got to the military was playing Call of Duty on a video game. Some of y'all act like y'all General Patton, General Honore, General Colin Powell, and he never thought about getting in the military, couldn't spell the military, and the closest you wanted to come to picking up a gun and fighting for your country, like I said, is playing Call of Duty, the video game, Call of Duty. But my main theme and just my main thought, and let me also add, I have 2 daughters, and I know how horrible the Taliban is, how backwards and regressive and brutal, bullies, violent, vicious killers they have been, and how in Afghanistan, this is the country that has been in some form at war with itself, at some type of war with itself or someone else, a neighbor, Russia, which borders Afghanistan, like on the north and east, for 2,000 years. This country has been at war for 2,000 years. You have to understand the culture. The culture of Afghanistan basically is from the 4th century in terms of the way they view women. They stone women and they force marriages and just brutal, violent, horrible, repressive. Girls don't allow them to go to school, and these forced, at best, arranged marriages, and at worst, forced marriages of young girls at 14 to Afghan soldiers, or in this case, the Taliban. So I know how savage the Taliban is. But if you train a nation for 20 years and you spend $90 billion just to train the military alone, not to mention the total $2 trillion that's spent, over 2,300 lives of American soldiers. And I get it. There are many more lives of Afghani soldiers that have died. And I have the utmost respect because they paid the ultimate sacrifice. They paid the ultimate sacrifice to fight for their country. Our men and women that lost their lives fought and lost their life for a country that did not belong to them. Now let's go back real quick to 2001. I'm going to make this quick. I'm not going to draw this out. A quick history lesson. Why did we originally go into Afghanistan in 2001? The mission, according to at that time President George W. Bush, was to seek out and to bring to justice the people who attacked us on September 11th, 2001, who flew 2 planes into the Twin Towers, World Trade Center in New York, flew a plane into the Pentagon, and it hijacked another plane, and that plane was about to fly into the U.S. Capitol until some courageous Americans basically fought until the plane crashed and killed everybody on the plane. 19 hijackers, all who had Saudi passports from Saudi Arabia. who actually were not from Afghanistan, but apparently Afghanistan was used as a training facility. They had training facilities to train to attack America on 9/11. So the reason we were in Afghanistan was to bring to justice the people that attacked us on September 11th. Well, 10 years ago, we killed Osama bin Laden next door to Afghanistan in Pakistan. But we still stayed in Afghanistan. President Barack Obama wanted us to get out of Afghanistan in 2009. The military said, no, we shouldn't do that yet. As a matter of fact, we should surge, send more troops, I believe it was like 40,000 more troops. Even after bin Laden was killed by the U.S. military, which was the original reason why we wound up in Afghanistan in the first place. So here we are. Your boy Orange Hitler negotiates a deal with the Taliban last year. And he negotiated a deal with the Taliban and didn't include the Afghan government at the time. Now, yeah, the president of Afghanistan fled the country. He just straight up didn't tell anybody, got on a plane, got his ass out of there. Just literally I'm out. Ran out on his own country. The president, can you imagine the president of Afghanistan last week just turn and cut tail, as they say, just ran without telling anybody until afterwards. Then he put a post up on Facebook after he and his family and people close to him secretly got on a plane somehow and got out of Afghanistan. Left the presidential palace hey man, look, we out. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. The president did that. So for 20 years, the American military, funded by our tax dollars, we have trained the Afghani military. Trained them, special forces, our best and brightest and most talented, courageous men and women, soldiers, trained them, had an air base, Bagram Air Base, reconstituted their military, their Air Force, gave them the best weapons, drones, trucks. They had better weapons than the Taliban. There were, quote, 300,000 supposedly ready to fight Afghani soldiers that had been trained for 20 years by the greatest, strongest military in the history of humankind, the American military. For 20 years, trained these people, gave them weapons, basically built their Air Force, got them an Air Force base and weapons. They outnumbered the Taliban. They had far superior weapons. And here we get to the end. They didn't even put up a fight. Many of them just took off their uniforms. Kind of like a scene, I think, of the movie like Next Friday. There was a scene where some gangbangers was trying to beat up Ice Cube and Mike Epps, Craig and Day Day. They ran in the alley. They was like, damn this. They took off their little top flight security uniforms and threw it in the trash can and threw the whistle away. They literally, these Afghan soldiers, part of the Afghan military. Now, some did fight and some died. But at the end of the day, what happened? You had 300,000? 100,000 wasn't willing to fight? 50,000? 25,000? You had weapons, superior training for 20 years, and you didn't even bother to fight? And then when I look at TV today, I saw the video. Many of you all have probably seen it. A huge Air Force carrier, C-17 plane. These huge aircraft carriers. They can carry equipment and soldiers. I see. It looks like several hundred people running alongside of this C-17 military aircraft that is trying to taxi so it can take off. People are running along the side of the airplane, the aircraft. People are climbing on the wing, trying to hold onto the wing and the engine. But you know what I didn't see? I didn't see any women or children who were running along, chasing the C-17. I saw men. I saw all men. I saw mostly young men that looked like they were in their 20s and 30s. So I spoke to Master Sergeant Gray, retired Marine, did 2 tours. And he pointed that out. He said, why is it if these men from Afghanistan, now, why were they willing to run and chase this plane to try to leave Afghanistan? Why were they not willing to turn around to grab some of the guns and the weapons that we had given them and utilize the training that we had given them for the last 20 years? Why were they not willing to turn around to grab a gun and stand up to the Taliban? And why were they not willing to fight for their country? This is their country. I cannot want something for you more than you want it for themselves. Now, there's enough criticism to go around. I'm not going to sit here and play armchair general. You know, I've pointed out some things about Orange Hitler. This goes all the way back to George W. Bush. Many make the argument President Biden should have seen this collapse. He should have somehow knew that the Afghan military was not going to have the will to fight for their own country. I don't know if you can you really see and predict that a military that you've trained for 20 years, that you have given superior weaponry, it's the term, superior weapons and technology, military technology, that's far superior to their enemy, and somehow they wouldn't have the will to fight for their country. Can you really see that coming? Okay, maybe, I guess, somehow some intelligence should have known that they really weren't willing to fight for their country. But if they were not willing to fight for their country after 20 years, then why are we there? I know, to make sure that Al-Qaeda and ISIS doesn't reform in Afghanistan and it's a failed state and they'll start training to attack America. Yeah, well, President Biden addressed that. They understand there's a lot of different places all over the parts of Africa, still in the Middle East, where, you know, there are places where people still want to do Americans harm. There are terrorist groups around the planet that still want to do America harm. You got nations, North Korea. I could go on. So, but at the end of the day, I can't want something for you more than you want it for themselves. And I think it was sad, but as a man, and I'm thinking about, and Master Sergeant Gray, he pointed something out. He said, now, here it is. This is a society where men are willing to stone a woman if she doesn't dress a certain way, or if she looks at a man, or even if they suspect that she's had an affair, or if she's engaged in adultery. They don't stone the man, they stone the woman. And in many cases, they'll stone the women to death. So you're willing to stone women and oppress women and keep them from being educated and to force marriages on 14-year-old teenage girls, but you are not willing to get tough with the Taliban and you're not willing to fight for your country, when the weapons that you have and the technology and the teaching is far superior than what the Taliban has. So it does make you wonder and say, well, damn. How many more Americans, how many more American men, women, how many more sons and daughters and nieces and nephews and husbands and wives and grandchildren and cousins have to die to fight for people that's not willing to fight for themselves, that's not willing to fight for their own country? I can't expect you to come to my house and be willing to fight harder to protect my house than I'm willing to fight. I can't expect you to come over and expect you to take on all comers and defend my home, and I just kind of sit back and let you do it. Wait a minute. What happened? At some point, I can't fight for you. I can teach you how to fight. But at the end of the day, this is you. You have to want to protect your home. I've got to want to protect my home more than you do, because I have more invested. This is my home. I have to be willing to put it all on the line to protect my home. Now, listen, in closing, I hope that President Biden, and I hope he allows the military to get out. All the people who were translators, all those who worked with the American soldiers, they call it the non-governmental agencies. Now, there's going to be some folks. Well, see, this was President Biden's plan. He knew that was going to happen, so now he has an excuse to just allow all these Afghanis to come to America so they can vote Democratic, so they can go ahead and can maintain and control power. Because I've already heard that conversation. Shut the flip up. Because you can't win. So, listen. The haters are going to say that, and the racists are going to say that you had a plan, you wanted the country to collapse, so you would have a reason to allow 200,000, 500,000, 1 million Afghan refugees to come to America. Blank them. Try to help as many families, try to protect, try to help and allow as many women as want to leave the country. I don't know how long that's going to take. That's a whole nother conversation. And I get it. For the men and women who fought in Afghanistan, there's some soldiers whose lives were saved by the Afghanis that fought next to them, the translators, and I understand that. My grandfather always taught me, your word is your bond. So I understand your passion, and I respect it, and I defer to it. So, we could criticize, we can go back and forth about it should have been a plan. President Biden said that he had a plan, but the president at the time, the president of Afghanistan, didn't want him or the United States government to execute the plan because they didn't want to give the optics or the impression or illusion that Afghanistan was a failed state. So we don't want to just kind of send panic. So if you started evacuating all these Afghanistanis early, then that would have just really created that much more panic, because people would have been like, oh my God, they're leaving. So listen, I wasn't in the room. I have to take the man at his word. You can take him at his word or not. You can believe President Biden. We hadn't heard from the president of Afghanistan because his ass cut and run. He cut and ran. So, do what you can. Keep your word to the translators, to the people that work with the translators and all the other people that help the Americans. I don't know what that number is. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in foreign policy. But whatever that number is, just show a degree of compassion or humanity. But at some point, and I think to me it's pretty clear we're at that point, but let's try to get out as many people, try to get out all the people that helped all the Americans. It's still somebody that's probably going to get left behind they can't get to the airport, and that is tragic. And I'm a father, I'm a girl dad, so I have compassion, but I have to look at the men of Afghanistan, and I'm not from there. I've never gone there, so I don't get the culture. But I don't get any culture that represses their women and doesn't want their women to own businesses and go to college. Why would you not want your daughters and your nieces and your wife and your mother to be educated and to be able to pursue their dreams and to be successful and run businesses and to be doctors and nurses and lawyers and politicians and help run the country? Why would you not want that? I don't get it. That's not my culture. But apparently that's the culture in Afghanistan. And it's been like that about 2,000 years at least, if not longer. Do what you can. Help the people that helped you. Yes, I'm 100% with that. Absolutely. I say for as long as it takes. I hope it won't take too long, but what's too long? I don't even know. But at some point, I can't want something for you more than you want it for yourself, especially if it's something that you own. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Let everybody know. Feel free to screen grab 60 seconds or 90 seconds or 30 seconds or 2 minutes of my monologue today. Give me your opinion. I'd love to hear from you. Military, I'd love to hear from any and everybody, but especially if you've served in Afghanistan, I'd love to hear from you. So leave me a message just in the comment section. Give me your comments right here down below at the bottom of the video, because if you're watching it in real time, I believe you can leave your comment right below. But for those who are watching the video, I'm doing it live, but on playback, you can leave your comments at the very bottom, right down below. You'll see where. But if you're watching me now, you've got time. Please leave your comment down below right now. All right. If you'd like to be a sponsor of the Geno Jones Show, if you'd like to advertise, I'd be honored to have you as a sponsor or as an advertiser. And if you're looking for the ultimate pitch man or brand ambassador to help build your brand, your business, to help move your products, your goods, and your services, I'm the king. I'm the king of pitch man. Leave me a message. As a matter of fact, Geno Jones Show, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I really, really do. Each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Mother, you know I love you more than life itself. I'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, 6:30 or whatever time, because you may be watching it Tuesday morning or whenever, Tuesday afternoon, for those who are watching me live right now. And everybody, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Tune in on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, the Geno Jones Show, coming to you live. In the meantime, thank you once again. Thank you so much for watching. And one final thing, as always, be blessed.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.